We start with the magnitude 5.4 earthquake that rocked the southeastern part of Korea on Wednesday afternoon. The main quake struck at 2:29 p.m. near the city of Pohang, with two smaller quakes, or foreshocks, happening before and aftershocks still continuing. For more, we go straight to our Oh Jung-hee, who is on location for us. Jung-hee, how are residents there coping at this difficult time?
Daeun, I'm now at Daedo Middle School, one of the 27 temporary shelters provided for Pohang citizens after yesterday's quake. I've been basically following the families who've spent last night at evacuation shelters, and this morning as the sun rose, a few of them, they actually tried to make their ways back home, but they had to return to evacuation shelters at the end, and that's because of the danger coming from aftershocks, and also because gas, water, and electricity supplies have all been cut to prevent casualties. As I've reported throughout the day, the areas hit hardest by yesterday's earthquake are in a bad state, with broken windows and collapsed walls, as well as cars crushed under debris. Residents say they were shocked and surprised to see once again their homes and property damaged, and that they're not sure whether they'll be able to return home soon. One told me it'll take at least 3 or 4 more days for them to find a new shelter, and by that, we don't mean their original homes, but another larger temporary shelter.
We tried to go into our houses, but because there still were aftershocks, the policemen stopped us. For the next few days, I think the residents of this whole area will have a difficult time. There are cracks on our walls. I hope the government and the Pohang city can get a handle on the situation and help us as quickly as possible.
Since yesterday's quake, as of 11 o'clock, there have been over 40 aftershocks, and even at this moment, tremors are continuing. A magnitude 3.8 aftershock struck just past 9 this morning, so there's still a degree of tension in the air. We now know that 57 people were injured and over 1,500 people had to be evacuated from their homes to 27 shelters across the city. Almost 1,200 privately owned facilities and 17 cultural monuments have been damaged. Kindergartens, middle and high schools and universities are expected to remain closed until next week, as aftershocks may continue in the region. The impact of this earthquake in Pohang is much more powerful than the one in Gyeongju last year, despite the lower magnitude, because it occurred at a much shallower depth.
It sounds terrifying, especially if you've never experienced an earthquake before, which is the case for most Koreans. Now, we're hearing that the Seoul government held a press briefing this morning and announced new response measures. Could you walk us through that?
Sure, Dan. The central headquarters in charge of dealing with the Pohang earthquake says it'll cooperate with all related ministries to speed up in getting safety measures and restore damaged facilities like school. And that's especially important because the country's college entrance exam, or 수능, has been postponed from today to next Thursday. So the government hopes to have all the test sites back to normal by next Wednesday. Also, the government says it'll do its best to take care of people who've been evacuated from homes, offering temporary shelters and necessities like food and blankets. Related ministries will work to provide psychological treatments for victims of the earthquake as well. The government says it'll also provide additional financial assistance to Pohang City or other cities if necessary, and tax cuts or deadline extensions for people who suffered property damage. Daeun.